On the internet, domain names are much more technical than labels. They represent identity, reputation, and access. When disputes arise, individuals and organizations often struggle to defend their rights without proper guidance. This project was created to provide legal assistance and educational tools in those cases, connecting academic expertise with practical solutions. The goal is to make digital justice more accessible and to ensure that domain holders can protect their place online. Today we are joined by Kathryn Kleiman, an American lawyer and professor at American University Washington College of Law. She is one of the most influential figures in the internet governance and digital law, with more than 2 decades of participation in ICANN. Kathryn played a fundamental role in the creation of the UDRP and is also recognized for her research on the ENIAC programmers, which led to the documentary, The Computers, and the book, Proving Ground. Hello, Kathryn.
Hello.
Could you share with us, how did you become a part of this project?
I became a part of this project when Dean Umberto Carrasco came to me and said that he and Margarita Valdez, the general counsel of Nick Chile, were going to come together to take a program that they had created in Chile for law students to defend domain name registrants and .cl and make it a program for the world. And they asked me if I'd like to be part of it. And of course I said yes.
From your perspective, how has the civil society shaped the development of the UDRP over the years?
I would say civil society's biggest input was right at the beginning, when the UDRP, the Uniform Dispute Resolution Policy, which had not been adopted by the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers yet, was being proposed. And the version that came from the World Intellectual Property Organization had no real or clear protection for domain name registrants. And civil society, which in the ICANN multi-stakeholder model is represented by the non-commercial users constituency, now part of the non-commercial stakeholder group. Civil society came forward and said, no, you really have to have protections for registrants. You have to have a clear way for registrants if they're a nonprofit, if they're a non-governmental organization, if they're an individual, if they're a small business or entrepreneur. You have to have a clear way of allowing them to defend themselves and their domain name, and in turn, their web pages, their email addresses, and their listservs. And ICANN said yes, and we added and expanded the UDRP that was adopted in the end to include protections, express protections for registrants.
Oh. And based on your experience, what kind of cases reveal remaining gaps in fairness or due process within the system?
This project will take representation by law students from Nick Chile, the .cl country code, to all the generic top-level domains of the world. Initially, that was 7, including the ones that are most famous, .com, .org, and .net. But now there's over 1,200 in many different languages, including Arabic, Chinese, Hindi, and other languages. And all of these generic top-level domains, as administered, overseen, and managed by ICANN, are covered by this UDRP, this domain name trademark dispute policy. 97% of registrants do not show up when they're brought into a trademark and domain name dispute. They do not come to the forum, whether it's the World Intellectual Property Organization or another group. They may not know what that is. They may not get the email, so they might not have notice. They might not know how to respond. And to have law students representing some portion of this 97% will save the domain names and in turn the websites, email addresses, and listservs of small businesses and entrepreneurs, nonprofit organizations, and individuals. And that would be a major and a good change for the internet.
Very true. What guidance would you offer to domain name holders with limited resources when they face well-resourced complaints?
The best thing a domain name registrant can do is respond, and respond in time. and using the templates that are provided by the World Intellectual Property Organization and other providers. The educational material is not great, and we will be changing that with this program. But there is enough to do a basic response, and a basic response is all that's needed. Show why you registered the domain name and how you're using it. Include PDFs, include screenshots of the web pages that you're using and other forms of use. Show your good faith involvement with the internet through this domain name. And that's what you need. We wrote the rules so people could respond by themselves, but still it seems to be very hard for them to do so. It will be much easier for them to respond with a law student by their side.
They definitely will be easier. And what do you hope to gain from engaging with Latin American stakeholders during this event?
To be here in Chile for this event is an incredible honor. Chile has played an incredible role in the history of the internet and the UDRP. In 1999, it was here at a meeting here in Chile, in Santiago, where we stopped the UDRP and added these rights for registrants, added these protections. And now it is here in Chile where this incredible project is being launched. It's an honor to be here, an honor to be with this community, and an honor to be part of this project.
Why do you think that defending domain holders' rights is so important for internet stability and inclusivity?
The internet is for all of us. When I came onto the internet, there may have been tens of millions of people online. There are now over 5 billion people online. Domain names are where people put their content. It's where they can organize themselves. And part of the inclusivity of the internet that we're striving for is for everyone to have a place online, if they want it, to post their own content. If you look at the terms of service of platforms, you may or may not own the content that you're posting, but on a domain name, you both own it and are responsible for it. And having that space of your own to share your political thoughts, your personal thoughts, your religious or ethnic thoughts, or the thoughts of your community, as well as the services you may offer, be it commercial or be it non-commercial, like education or research, or where to find the water, or where to find the government benefits. Billions of people every day use the domain names, including and especially non-commercial domain names. And this project is going to help defend them, and that will help the stability, the security, and the inclusion of the internet.
Right, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing all this valuable information with us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the excellent questions. Well done.
Thank you.